Evelyn Reed, CEO of the Daily Table, a bustling chain of gourmet grocery stores, adjusted the itchy polyester vest. Her usual silk blouses and tailored blazers were a distant memory, replaced by a drab uniform that smelled faintly of stale bread and floor cleaner. Her carefully crafted disguise included a new hairstyle, a touch less makeup than usual, and a pair of spectacles that subtly altered the shape of her face. She was no longer Evelyn Reed, the woman who commanded boardrooms. She was Penny, a new hire in the produce department, eager to learn. The transition was jarring. The sounds of her office, the hushed clicks of keyboards, the distant ring of her executive assistant's phone, were replaced by the relentless clatter of shopping carts, the insistent beep of scanners, and the constant murmur of customer chatter. It felt like shedding her very skin, stepping into a world where her words carried no weight, her opinions no immediate consequence. The air in the Daily Table store, located in a busy downtown area, was thick with the scent of ripening fruit, disinfectant, and a faint, underlying odor of something vaguely metallic from the backroom. The rhythmic hum of the refrigerated display cases was a constant drone, occasionally punctuated by the loud thud of a dropped crate or the high-pitched shriek of a child. Evelyn, or rather Penny, found herself navigating narrow aisles, constantly sidestepping customers and other employees. Her usual comfort was replaced by a persistent, low-level anxiety. A nagging question had been gnawing at her for months. Why were their customer satisfaction scores plummeting, despite record profits? She'd attributed it to a temporary dip, perhaps a new competitor, but a persistent feeling of unease had led her here, driven by a blend of worry and a touch of professional curiosity, a belief that she could quickly pinpoint the issue. Her first whisper of unease arrived within hours. A customer, a harried mother, asked a seasoned produce employee, a man named Leo, for assistance finding a specific organic artichoke. Leo, without looking up from stacking apples, gestured vaguely. "Over there somewhere, ma'am." "Can't miss it." Evelyn felt a prickle of discomfort. She'd always prided herself on the Daily Table's exemplary customer service. Was this an isolated incident or a symptom? Later, she overheard two cashiers whispering about mandatory overtime with little notice, their voices laced with exhaustion and frustration. Another double shift, one sighed. "My feet are killing me." A knot began to form in Evelyn's stomach. These weren't outright problems, but small cracks in the veneer she had so carefully constructed. The pressure intensified during the afternoon rush. A delivery of fresh berries arrived, demanding immediate processing and display. Evelyn found herself scrambling, trying to balance crates, tag items, and maintain a semblance of order amidst the chaos. A towering stack of organic greens nearly toppled, and she lunged to catch it, her heart hammering against her ribs. Leo, passing by, offered a gruff, "Careful, Penny. You break it, you buy it." Evelyn felt a flash of irritation, then a cold wave of realization. Her disguise almost slipped, her innate desire to take charge, to command, warred with the need to remain inconspicuous. The sheer physical demand of the job, the constant movement and quick thinking, was far more taxing than she had imagined from her cushioned office chair. The crushing realization hit her when she witnessed the waste. A significant portion of the fresh produce, perfectly edible but slightly bruised or nearing its expiration, was being systematically thrown into a dumpster, not donated as per company policy. "Why aren't we sending this to the local food bank?" Evelyn asked Leo, her voice betraying a hint of her true self. Leo shrugged, oblivious. "Too much hassle, Penny. Manager says it's faster to just toss it. Less paperwork." The coldness that washed over Evelyn was immediate, a deep chill that settled in her bones. This wasn't just inefficiency, it was a blatant disregard for their stated values, a systemic flaw she had been utterly blind to. The tightening in her chest was almost painful, the stabbing realization that she, the CEO, had allowed this to happen under her watch. During her lunch break, Evelyn found herself sitting next to a young woman named Chloe, a cashier with tired eyes and a surprisingly resilient smile. Chloe spoke of her second job, her struggles to pay for her mother's medical treatments, and how the unpredictable scheduling at the Daily Table made it impossible to plan. "Sometimes I barely make enough to cover rent," Chloe admitted, her voice soft. "And the benefits? Well, they're not really benefits, are they?" Evelyn listened, her own problems shrinking in comparison. Then, Chloe shared a truly devastating truth. "My brother, he works in the back. He twisted his ankle last week, a bad fall near the leaky ice machine. Tried to report it, but they said it was his own fault for not being careful. No paid time off, nothing. He's working on it now, limping, so he doesn't lose his job. The raw pain in Chloe's voice pierced Evelyn's core. This wasn't just a complaint. It was a story of genuine hardship, of an uncaring system that chewed up and spat out its loyal employees. The absolute gut-wrenching betrayal came late one afternoon. Evelyn was retrieving some cleaning supplies from a rarely used storage closet in the back when she overheard hushed voices. It was Leo and the store manager, a man named Donovan. They were discussing a delivery error from weeks prior, a significant shipment of high-end organic cheeses that had spoiled. Donovan, rather than reporting it and taking the loss, had instructed Leo to repackage the still-rotting product with new labels, planning to sell it at a discount in a few days. "No one will notice," Donovan chuckled, "and it saves us a headache with corporate." Evelyn froze, her breath catching in her throat. Her blood ran cold. This wasn't just inefficiency or negligence. This was deliberate fraud, a profound ethical breach that endangered customers and completely undermined the integrity of her company. The true, devastating scale of the problem, a rot extending far deeper than she could have imagined, settled over her like a shroud. The next morning, Evelyn Reed walked into the store, no longer Penny. She wore her sharpest suit, her presence commanding immediate attention. The hum of the store seemed to dim, replaced by a sudden, deafening silence as employees recognized her. Donovan, who had been barking orders, stopped mid-sentence, his face paling as he registered her identity. Leo, stacking apples, dropped one, its soft thud echoing in the sudden quiet. Astonishment, disbelief, and a mix of fear and awe flickered across their faces. Evelyn's voice, though calm, resonated with unwavering resolve. Donovan was immediately dismissed, and a full investigation into his practices was launched. Leo, though complicit in some of the smaller issues, was given a warning and assigned retraining. The spoiled cheese was pulled, and every customer who had purchased it was personally contacted with an apology and a full refund. But Evelyn didn't stop there. She announced a complete overhaul of employee scheduling, offering more predictable hours and better benefits. She established a confidential feedback system, ensuring that every employee's voice would be heard without fear of retaliation. The broken ice machine was replaced within days, and a new policy was implemented to ensure immediate care and compensation for workplace injuries. The dawn of a new era at the daily table was palpable. Employees, once burdened by unspoken grievances, felt a renewed sense of purpose. Customer satisfaction scores soared, reflecting the tangible improvements in both product quality and service. The company, once a place where disconnect festered, transformed into a thriving, empathetic culture, a testament to the vital importance of courageous, ethical leadership and the transformative power of truly listening to frontline voices. Evelyn Reed, once blinded by her own assumptions, had found her vision restored, not just for the company, but for the human beings who made it run.